last time we won the Super Bowl, Mike Dicker was the head coach. You in Chicago, we're a gritty city. It's just what we are. And the head coach should embody that. Michael Jordan, Derrick Rose, Bernie Mac, Chance the Rapper, Caleb Williams. The city of Chicago is gonna be his.
Hey man, what's up? Dion Mojo Brookzz.
Did you have any luck with where you are right now?
I never had anyone, come and grab me and say, hey, I'm gonna take you under my wing and I'm gonna show you.
What was the journey like that made that moment so fulfilling for you?
The next morning I woke up, it was at like 3.5 million views. That hour and a half ride home changed my life. Hey son, I wasn't with you at first, but I'm letting you know, from this day forward, I'm with you the rest of the way. That meant something to me.
So you really didn't get fired, you stepped down?
No, they fired me.
Be light-skinned on the inside and the outside.
Because you're not even light-skinned on the inside.
Yeah.
Man, you play linebacker. You look out in the audience and it's 4,000 people there just because of you.
Your name came up with Obama, Oprah.
And you just hear the crowd going crazy. Mojo today, makes history along with other Chicago greats. That's what changed my career.
Hold up, limitless, take a stomach, got pin in it. I fought the head to witness it. Got my people feeling militant. Way I'm feeling, got me up. On the mission, got me up. Knowing me, I got the key. Only vision I can trust. Trust, limitless, take a stomach, got pin in it. I fought the head to witness it. Got my people feeling militant.
Boom! Boom! What's up, boss?
What's up with it? You got
I knew it was gonna be a
criticize
hater.
him right now, bro.
I knew it was gonna be a hater.
My dog.
I walked in. What's up,
My
man?
dog.
I thought you was gonna have one of them Steve Harvey suits on today, man. What's up, fellas?
Hey man, what's up? Dion Mojo Brookzz.
Yes, sir.
Welcome to The Pivot. This is Channing Crowder. This is Freddie T. I'm RC, Pivot fam. Thank y'all for pivoting with us. Excuse my voice. I was in Pittsburgh earlier this week trying to scream us to a win.
Yeah.
And it ain't work.
It was 30-6.
Well, it was 7-6 though.
You must have been screaming on your way to the stadium.
I was. In the morning on first take.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
All right. So when you
Get
got
loud.
there, wasn't too much to scream about.
Whole lot of dams.
Damn. Well, I will say, what is cool about being in the stadiums on Monday night, is how I met him.
Yeah. I walked right down and he was doing the pregame show.
Yeah,
And,
I was a big fan.
Was
of
it
his work.
Minnesota game? It was the first
First game
of
of the season.
Yeah. I've been good ever since. Don't even try to bring that up.
He cried
I
that
did.
week, actually.
I did.
Yeah.
Because it was the first game of the year. It was Monday night, and we had got all this hype, about how this was gonna be different this year. And we went into that game, and I think we were leading most of the game, and then we let J.J. McCarthy, and we always do that. Like, I just feel like the Bears always let this quarterback that hasn't played much come in and just make us look like we're a little league team. And I just sat there after the game, just could not believe, because I thought it was different. I was doing a lot of yelling that game, all the way to the end.
One, I'm cutting off my phone after the Bears game if you win. Don't FaceTime me. I don't want.
I'm gonna call you right away.
Yeah, I don't want to hear none of that. So during the week, we had a conversation on text message, and I was like, look, man, it's been a great season.
I'll read the messages.
It's
Go to
been
the messages. Go to the messages and read exactly what you said to me. Do that.
Let me see, what did I?
Yeah, you know what you said.
Receipts. Now we need receipts.
I like receipts.
Yeah.
Because he was gonna try to make it seem like he ain't say nothing that bad, but go ahead.
I don't think this is that bad, to be honest. He was like, we winning this week. I was like, you won't. I said maybe. I said, but I love your confidence.
Uh-huh. Anytime a football player tells you, I love your confidence, it's like, yeah, right. Yeah, I'm not really winning.
There you go, big man.
Yeah,
And so, then he was like, Green Bay ain't it, bro. I'm gonna have to read it like, I don't know how he talk.
Yeah.
Right? And then I
Green
was just
Bay,
like,
I'll tell you how I said it. Green Bay ain't it. Where the camera at?
got them all over.
Green Bay ain't it. That's what I said.
And so I was just like, bro, they beat y'all. And it took a miracle in Chicago without Jordan Love.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, yeah, last 4 times we played. He was like, Jordan Love ain't Aaron Rodgers.
Nah.
And I was like, ain't nobody Aaron Rodgers really, but he cooked, but Jordan Love cooked y'all. And that's how we ended up getting here because I told him I was going to expose him on text message and put him on the internet.
Yeah.
And he talked about the Steelers losing. I said, yeah, they not very good.
Yeah.
I did say that.
You did admit that.
And then this is how we got to this point. Because I said, well, if they win, I want you on the show. And this is why we're here.
We're here.
And they delivered like I knew my boys would. Bear down.
Who y'all got next? Don't matter.
Don't even matter who we got next. Don't even matter. I'm telling you right now, them Rams can come on in. We finna send them right back to LA. All right, Sean McVay can put them all on Figueroa when we get done with them. Because we is not playing. We is not playing.
The Bears hadn't been winning a whole lot, and the crime rate in Chicago is usually high during those times. What's the crime rate like now?
It's down.
Really?
Talk to the mayor, we down about 8%. Yeah, we happy. Like
So
it's a
them
happier
hoodlums
city.
in the stadium, they
Yeah,
watching the game,
we watching the
they
game.
happy.
And we waiting for something to go wrong. If Green Bay would've won last week, they wouldn't have made it back.
We lose, we fight.
They wouldn't have made it back. They wouldn't have made it back.
First off, you got light skin tendencies though. You got like green eyes.
I'm dark skinned.
I know you're not fighting.
No, I'm dark skinned on the inside.
Don't do that.
You better ask anybody. Y'all.
No, don't. Why you turning your back on us?
I'm not.
You dark skin on the inside. Be light skin on the inside and
No,
the outside.
because
bro,
you're
we
not
got-
even light skinned on the inside.
Yeah.
Man, you played linebacker.
But you can't.
You give me 5 light skinned linebackers. That was a dog.
Can they be Samoan?
No. Cause they built different. Them boys be pulling trucks and stuff over there. They different.
Yeah.
He was a dog, man. You dark skinned. It's okay to be dark skinned on the inside.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Caleb Williams, I didn't know it. Well, he dark skinned on the inside too.
Yeah.
The boy got heart.
But when they criticize his nails though,
Yeah.
cause a lot of people get on the man about his nails. We've had him on the show. He a good young kid.
Yeah.
I got on him. I asked him about his nails. I'm like, bro, that's not what I grew up with.
Yeah. And what did he say?
He was like, that's my style.
That's his style. Here's the thing. When we drafted him, and I seen it at USC, I cannot say that I was like, damn, we finna get to do it with the nails. I was like that. But, man, bro, times has changed. The world is so open and free, and you know what I'm saying? It's just, they doing it. I don't care. I don't care what color his nails is.
You ain't know his name?
He can get his toes
The
done.
dude with the nails?
That's what I call him, dude with the nails.
But y'all have another legendary Chicago Bear who was soft-spoken, just like Caleb. Sweetness. Sweetness was, yeah.
Yeah, but he wasn't
And then
getting
go
no
out there and
French
be a
tip,
dog.
He wasn't getting no French tip.
But you do say he earned them now.
He earned them now.
You willing to pay him.
Let me tell you something. We go to the Super Bowl, I'm getting them toes did for him, too. I don't care. Do what you got to do. Get us there, you get whatever. I don't care. Listen, I don't care what color his nails is. My thing is, can he play football?
He can play.
He can play football.
So tell me, what were your emotions when y'all was down 21-3 though? Because you knew.
I'm going to be honest with you. We was down 21-3. We was getting ready to go in the half. Green Bay was getting ready to attempt a field goal attempt. I told my brother TJ, I say, if he missed this kick, we'll win. He missed the kick. We won. I was never, man, I've been a Bears fan for so long. We've never had a quarterback where you felt like, hey, if we get the ball in this guy's hands, we can win. We've never felt like that. The best quarterback that I've seen as a Bears fan was Jay Cutler. And we already knew, if Jay got the ball in the fourth quarter, we need to score, Jay's probably gonna throw it to the other team. And there's nothing wrong with that, but Jay used to just get out his hand. The stuff that fourth and 8.
Best throw I've ever seen.
The season on the line, I don't care what color his nails is. The season on the line, the boy dropping dimes.
What about Rex Grossman? He
What about
got
him?
y'all to the Super
Rex
Bowl.
took us, okay. The first 6 games, Rex was balling that year. And then after that, he got colorblind. Because he also started throwing to the other team a lot as well. You know what I'm saying? I liked Rex.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But he little hands, he couldn't see over the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
It was just a lot, but nothing like Caleb. Caleb, I knew he was a real deal when I met his dad. And this was last year. His dad was never happy. His dad you could just tell his dad was like, no, my son is really like that. This is not what he is. And it was that, just seeing, when you got a father around you that, you know what I'm saying, you could just, it bleeds through him like that no, my son is him. You could just see it, and he just wasn't happy. And the first thing that he said when I seen him in Minnesota, I was like, how you feeling? He said, no, they got it together. We're gonna be good this year.
What you said Ben was built like when he took his
A
shot?
kangaroo. And I love you, a good, better, best, coach. I love you, but you was jacked up like a kangaroo, you took that shirt off. Did you see him? He was
with the baby chest. With the...
I was like, man, put your shirt back on, coach. Don't nobody want them hot dogs that bad in Chicago. 'Cause you know that's why he did it. You take it was a thing with the winner circle in Chicago. He take his shirt off, then, you know, free hot dogs for City of Chicago.
And that's how they got it.
And they got it.
The energy he had, the way he shook Matt LaFleur's hand, then Ben Johnson goes in the locker room and he like, F the Packers, F them.
Yeah.
As a true Chicago Bears fan, Chicago win, how does that make you feel with the way Green Bay has treated the Bears over history?
We sticking beside our coach, what he said. You know what I'm saying? Nobody talk about, what about the first game when they beat us up in Green Bay and Matt LaFleur just, you know, just shook his hand, walked off. Nobody said nothing, cause we the Bears. No, I don't think it's nothing wrong with it. I think that's the type of intensity, that's what we need. See, we haven't had that in Chicago. You look at the last few coaches that we've had, none of them had that in them. None of it. It's just certain stuff that you just couldn't imagine them saying. Matt Eberflus never said that.
Right.
Ever. He was a nice guy. Lovie Smith, one of my favorite coaches of all time. He was a nice guy. He didn't even curse. I'm just saying. Mark Trestman, he didn't even know what he was doing.
He didn't know he had a job.
He didn't even know. He was just there. He was just showing up. So when you think about it, you know, that was Matt Nagy. Matt Nagy was probably the closest thing that we would have had to somebody who would have had that type of energy. And I just think that he always thought he was smarter than everybody in the room, and he just didn't make like the necessary adjustments, you know what I'm saying? And then he was tied to Trubisky, but we with Ben, man, with all that, I like that in him. You in Chicago, we're a gritty city.
Yeah.
It's just what we are. And the head coach should embody that. The last time we won the Super Bowl, Mike Dicker was the head coach. Mike Dicker was that.
Right.
He'd have told him to his face. Everybody on Green Bay, he'd have said the same thing. So that's what we need.
Right.
That's what we need, to be the team, the championship team that I feel like we on our way to being. We need that from the head guy, from the top, all the way down, and it's gonna bleed through the team. Nothing wrong with it.
Like, we all come from different places. I'm from New Orleans. I wasn't a Saints fan.
Okay.
Right? Freddie T is from, Freddie T, what was your team growing up, though?
Chicago Bears.
The Bears, see. And who'd you like growing up?
Bucks.
Bucks. See, I was a Philadelphia Eagles fan.
Hold on, the Bucks wasn't that good when you was growing up.
My daddy was on the 79 from Worcester first team.
Oh my
With
God.
Doug Williams with the creamsicles.
Yeah, I remember.
And back then, so I remember, my daddy used to talk about it, and
So you know what pain feel like. Okay.
Yeah. We turned to red and gray and still was terrible. And then Brady came and blessed us.
Blessed. No, y'all got blessed way before Brady.
Oh no, with D. Brooks and them boys. Oh,
Yeah, see how you went straight to the defense?
Brad Johnson.
Don't nobody want to give Brad Johnson no credit.
Brad Johnson.
Brad Johnson did what he needed to do to help y'all win. Y'all had to go
Brad
support.
Johnson got the ball and not turned it over. Brad Johnson.
Well, how was Keyshawn Johnson doing what he was doing?
Keyshawn Johnson was catching 2-yard routes.
Keyshawn Johnson had 100 catches, no touchdowns.
I know, because he was catching 2-yard. Keyshawn Johnson catch all bubble screens.
He still had to throw him the ball. That's part of the game. That was an extension of the run game. Ain't that what Tony Romo said?
But
He
also,
with his elbow. He did like this. He didn't even use his shoulder. He threw balls with his elbow.
Chan's gonna always be critical.
Yeah, okay.
Right? And RC will be the first one to tell you that after a while, nobody cares about the stats of the Super Bowl champion. They're gonna say, we are Super Bowl champions.
We are the Super Bowl champions.
Over time, you talk about Jim McMahon and the Bears.
Yeah.
You talk about Trent Dilfer when he won the Super Bowl.
Ravens, yeah.
Right. You talk about Brad Johnson. Yeah, Brad didn't do a lot, but he operated within the system that allowed them to win as a team.
What about Eli Manning?
There's another one.
Eli Manning
He
made
was better
plays
than
in the
those.
Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Eli
he was
Manning was actually a Pro Bowler.
Eli Manning
first
Eli
overall
Manning
pick.
was just throwing some shit up in the Super Bowl.
No, Eli could play.
Bro, the helmet catch,
Dave Tyree.
that was God. That was God that was like, you know what, New England's won enough. I'm telling you, bro, it was just unreal. It was it was some stuff, you got to look at it. And it's just the truth. I feel like for any team to win it all, you got to have a little luck.
Yeah.
You have to, and that's why I feel like this is our year. Because a lot of that 4th and 8, You know what I'm saying? It was a great throw. It was a good play. But it just don't happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just, the game, I'm telling you, Green Bay was on the other side. Like, it's over.
Yeah.
You can feel it. They felt like it was over.
Man, for you, let's talk a little bit about who you are, how you get here, how you become one of the biggest Bears representatives on social media.
Yeah.
You know, you had the Unhand Me Now tour.
Yeah.
I know you effing lying. And just watching you blow up, one of my favorite posts from you, and you have it pinned, was you crying on stage after receiving
In Chicago.
an ovation at home.
Yeah.
What was the journey like that made that moment so fulfilling for you?
Man, you know, before I even walked out that night, I was back with my family, and they kept asking me, like, you gonna cry when you go out there? Because I couldn't see, you know, the audience. Like, I've been in Chicago theater a lot of times, and I had just been there earlier that year to see Kevin Hart, and I was like, no, I'm good. I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry. And, you know, when I walked out, and you look out in the audience, and it's 4,000 people there just because of you. And in that moment, you thinking about how many plans had to be made, how many babysitters had to get got. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm looking out in the crowd, I see my elementary school principal, my 7th grade teacher. And, you know, you just go through this thing, you know, of how you got here. You know, I remember pulling up to local bars, and there's 6 people in there, and I'm just in there, you know, doing my thing, walking around with security when I didn't even need it. You know, when you get to that moment, and you know that you're in a city where a lot of people don't get this opportunity, it take you back, because it's almost like I always knew I would be here, but the realization of it happening is, I could not compare that to anything that I've ever experienced in my life.
Bro, you had security with 6 people in the club?
Yes.
They were violent people?
No.
They
No, listen, I'm gonna tell you, let me tell you something. And my security, he to this day, he's still my security to this day.
He ready?
Yeah, he ready. You seen him, Ryan, we was at the Bears game.
Oh, you ready?
Boy, we was exchanging numbers.
Somebody was recording me and Ryan exchanging numbers.
Yeah.
And he had me and Ryan's number.
Yeah.
And he went off.
Hey,
Leave
homeboy,
out the
he
phone.
wouldn't let him leave.
Yeah, he took his phone.
Oh, okay.
Took his phone. Yeah.
So you was there the whole.
And I was nervous because the guy was white. I said, man, get that man back his phone before we go to jail. Please.
They got to charge for that.
Give him back his phone, right? I started walking up the stairs. I don't even know him no more.
But you just said, talking about sports teams though, to get where you are, a lot of people try to be funny, a lot of people want to be in your place. Does it take, like you just said, great teams need luck.
Yeah.
Did you have any luck with where you are right now?
Oh, man, this was a lot of hard work, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. You know, I try to think about how many times I felt like the dice kind of just rolled in my favor where it could have felt like luck. But I promise you, you know, for as long as I'm doing it, I never had anyone, you know, come and grab me and say, hey, you know, I'm gonna take you under my wing and I'm gonna show you. Everything that I know, everything that I've learned, it's been self-taught. It's just been through experiences and stuff like that. Opportunities that I've gotten is just, you know what I'm saying, me waiting on my turn to come. Mm-hmm. I think the biggest blessing for me is those bars that I was going into when I first had started doing videos back in 2014. And I was, you know, I was growing and I was like, man, you know what? If I blow up, people are gonna wanna see me. So I gotta learn how to be a stand-up comedian. So I went and I was going to these bars to do these different things. I feel like that is what separates me from a lot of comedians that we learn to love from social media that try to transition to the stage is that a lot of them blew up before they were ready. And they just got threw out there. Where I was, you know, simultaneously making the videos, going online, and then I was in a lab working on the stand-up, you know, learning and understanding what it was so that when my time came, I'm over-prepared. I'm ready.
Yeah.
You put me in any room you want to put me in, and I'm gonna get the job done. So, timing is everything. I think that's what it is. I'm grateful that God made my journey one that, you know, it took its time. You know what I'm saying? It took its time for the flower to grow.
Yeah.
And, you know, and now that it's here, you know, it's sustainable. This is something that I'm gonna be able to do for the rest of my life.
Right. You talk about the hard work. You mentioned knowing that you would be here someday.
Yeah.
Was there a particular moment or a sketch or something that hit and you said, all right, let's take it from here?
Man, so I used to do this character when I first started going viral. It's a sugar daddy character named Mr. James. And when I first used to do him, now I do him and we do the prosthetic makeup on me and stuff like that. But when I used to do him, back then I used to use this Snapchat filter and it would make my head real big and, you know, I would play all the characters. And I remember I was dating this chick that lived about an hour and a half from Chicago. She was in college. And I was sitting there with her and we was just talking and I just thought of this video to do as this sugar daddy. And I remember driving home and, you know, I just remember like, man, I'm gonna do this video and I'm gonna do it like this, I'm gonna do it like that. And I did the video when I got home. And at this time I was still living with my parents, so I did it in my room. The next morning I woke up, it was at like 3.5 million views. And I was like, this is it. Like this is it. So then I kept making more of that and people was falling in love with it. Then I got fired from my job and then, you know, my mom came to me and was like, you know, that day I got fired, I was already looking for another job. And she was like, no, you know, your comedy thing, like, you know, your numbers are looking good. She said, you can stay here as long as you want. Just focus on that, collect your unemployment and see what happened. And the rest was history. I never went back to work. That video, that ride home that day, just that hour and a half ride home changed my life.
How does it feel to hear that sort of support from your mom? Because like in my house,
Yeah.
I tell my son who's 23 now,
Yeah.
I said, at 21, you gotta go, but obviously.
Yeah, no,
you
you're
know.
not gonna do that.
Right, right.
Yeah, but my thing is that having parents, especially my mother at the time, because my dad wasn't buying it at the time, he wasn't. And it's crazy, it's just years later, he ended up buying me this bracelet, you know, just saying like, hey, son, I didn't believe at first. And he was like, it's not, you know, what you're doing or what you have right now. He was like, but I should have been on that train from the beginning. And that meant something to me, you know what I'm saying, more than anything. But to answer that question, I feel like, you know, in our community, that's the thing. 18, 21, you out.
Right.
And we the only ones that's like that. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like the world is not what it was like when our parents was coming up. It's not even as cheap as it was when our parents was coming up. So, you know, to get your kids at that young age and throw them out into this world and they don't really fully understand it or fully grasp it, I just think I don't agree with it. I think what my parents did for me, I'm gonna be honest with you, I was there till I was 30. You know what I'm saying? And I started doing comedy when I want to say I was about 24 or 25. So I was, you know, on this journey for about 4 or 5 years. And once the pandemic hit, that's when it was like the money was coming in. I was making all this money on social media and I was like, okay, I can be out on my own. And even then, I can tell you right now, if I wanted to right now, I can go back to my parents' house right now just because there's the type of people that they are, that they would rather us struggle from their house than just be out here struggling in the world, getting the stuff that we don't, you know, that they don't want to have to help us get out of.
Right.
So if they can prevent it getting there, if that's you being here until you get back on your feet, I can appreciate that. And
But I gotta ask him, bro, well, you can't stay in Pop's house with that chain on.
no, not now. No, not now. I would have to get him one. But I bought him a car.
I was about to ask
Yeah,
you
yeah.
about that. When you got him to the BMW, I think the beauty in it was that you said you'd do it.
I would do it. And I said it a long time ago.
What is that full circle moment of him coming to you saying, I should have been on board, and then what you were able to do, being able to help you keep your promise?
Him coming to me and telling me that he should have been on board meant so much to me because I never knew that he wasn't on board. So it was him like admitting that to me. You know, he kept it real. He was like, man, I was laughing, but I wasn't laughing with you. And that meant something to me because as a man, and especially, you know, coming from your father, the expectations. My dad thought me and my brother was going to the NFL. You know what I'm saying? And I could have told him in high school I wasn't gonna make it. You know what I'm saying? Because I was skipping practice to go, be with the girls, but I was good. But I wasn't committed. And in order to get to that level, as I'm saying right now in the profession that I'm in right now, it takes a different level of commitment. Him not believing, I couldn't be mad at him because I understood it. Your son wake up one day and say, hey, I'm about to be this comedian. I'm gonna be a star. I'm gonna make these videos and this gonna make it happen. I'm gonna have all this money. And as a man that grew my dad in the 70s. So you think of the era he came in like, man, you ain't about to be no comedian. You know what I'm saying? You better go get a job. You know what I'm saying? You need to be trying to figure something out. And, to be able, for him to admit that and gift me with this bracelet that he bought me, it's a diamond bracelet with my name in it. For him to gift me that and have that heart-to-heart conversation with me and tell me, hey, son, I wasn't with you at first, but I'm letting you know from this day forward, I'm with you the rest of the way. Whatever you want to do, I'm behind it. It gave me that, it was just that other half that I didn't know I was missing to push me to where I was going, because Mom always there. Mom was at every show. Mom was at every football game. You know what I'm saying? Dad was there when he couldn't work. If he didn't have to work, he was there. To now having that, you know what I'm saying, it changed everything. So I know what my dad contributed to our family. I know how hard he worked. I know the long nights. I know some of the stuff that he did that he probably didn't want to do. A lot of days he didn't feel like it, but he had to. So to be able to give that to him for what he's given to our family, bro, it meant everything to me.
His dad's super light-skinned too, though. This his whole...
My dad is probably your complexion or a little lighter. He just got the light eyes.
Yeah,
Yeah, the light
his
eyes.
whole...
But I'm gonna tell you something, though.
His whole background.
Mr.
But
Brookzz.
Pops look like he bought it, though.
Yeah, I'm letting you know right now. I'm telling you right now.
He ain't about no
to
bullshit.
This day, I wouldn't try him. I wouldn't recommend nobody try him either. I'm not playing.
I don't know if you see the show though, but the light skin thing, they try me all the time about the light skin thing. That's why I got on
say
you
you
earlier.
have to stop owning it on the inside.
What's that?
You dark skin on the inside. Let me
On
hear you
the inside.
Say I'm dark
But
skin on the
then
inside.
you also got the light eyes though.
That's why I
that-
got really.
yeah,
that's
they
what
gonna
really
try you.
gotta. That's what really gotta. I gotta check it fast. Cause if I don't, now people pinch me.
Is that why you told little boy to come on stage and tell his old lady that he's gonna get some of that thing that night?
You talking about Travis? Yeah. You know what, man? With that, I feel like this. I feel like I think a lot of people are afraid to say how they feel because of how they think people may feel about them. And if you're not saying how you feel or acting on how you feel, are you really being you? Like, I feel like, buddy, you hanging around this woman and you know you want something, you know what I'm saying? And you playing this role. Like, no, say what you want. Women respect that. Say what you want. Don't, you faking it like you just this nice guy. You light skinned. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Hey, you a talented light skinned brother. Man, load up. I ain't got pretty eyes. I wish I had pretty eyes.
No, you
boy,
don't.
I would be a killer.
No, you don't.
Look at
You
how
don't
good
want
I
these
look with dark
You don't want
eyes.
these problems, man.
I don't need no, I have problems enough looking as good as I look
Yeah,
now.
but if you had these eyes, your problems gonna go from here to there. I have problems, man. I can't get women to leave me alone.
I have the same problem.
All right, D.
I'm telling you,
Okay,
man.
bro. Now you doing a lot, dog.
Telling you.
Was it the same before? First of all, where were you working when you got fired? And
Security.
second,
I was doing security.
oh, you was security.
Yeah, I was a
What
security
were
guard.
you securing?
Hold on. Because I was dangerous. I was dangerous. I pull that flashlight out your ass in trouble. Man, so I was doing security, this security company, but we was contracted. I was working at General Mills.
Okay.
So pretty much what I would be doing is they would have all these different, truckers come in to pick up the loads of cereal or whatever General Mills have. And they would come in and check in through the security booth and, I would direct them where to go. But I was in charge of the security operations at this entire distribution center. And then I left there and then I was in charge of Best Buy Security Distribution Center in Bolingbrook, Illinois. I was a supervisor. That's when I started the Mr. James thing. I started going viral. And the people at the home office of the security company were seeing the videos. I had did one of the videos at the Best Buy. But you couldn't tell that I was there, but if you knew, you knew. And they came down and they was like, hey man, we really, because when I got to that job at Best Buy, the the security operations was a mess. And they needed somebody to get in there and kind of fix it back up and clean it up. And I felt like I took on more than what I could handle. I didn't really fully understand the situation that they were in. And the money was decent for me at the time, it was like $20 an hour. So I was like, yeah, I'll take the job. But when I got there, they were understaffed. So I was trying to hire people. Also, I was working 16, 24-hour shifts. And all of this while I'm a dad, I'm a young father at the time, and then I'm still trying to pursue this comedy thing. And I had got booked for this show in LA. And I went out there, and the person that was supposed to work security that weekend just didn't show up. So Best Buy didn't have any security at the distribution center for like 72 hours. And they heard about it. Best Buy was mad. They went to the security company and told them. And they were like, where you at? I'm like, I'm in LA. I'm in LA. Now, I'm the boss. If nobody is there, I'm supposed to be there. So they came down and was like, man, listen, it's either, you're gonna do this or you're gonna chase that comedy career. And I was like, man, this can't change my life. This can't change my daughter's life. Like, what other opportunities do y'all have for me?
So you really didn't get fired. You stepped down.
No, they fired me.
Because you
I
still
wasn't ready to
work.
quit.
You
I wasn't ready to
had
quit.
Plan B
I
lined
was
up.
just, I thought we was having, you ever get fired and didn't know you was about to get fired?
Nah.
You thought y'all was having a conversation.
I thought we was having a conversation. And I was like, well, do y'all have any other opportunities where I can grow in this? Like, if y'all really want to be committed. And he was like, you know what? The guy's, man, he got the rocking back and forth. And he was like, yeah, listen, we're letting you go. I was like, wait, hold on, wait a minute, y'all. Let me choose again. Because Christmas was like a week away. And I had to get my daughter stuff for Christmas, man. They fired me and I went in the car and I just cried, man. I just cried. And I couldn't go back to General Mills because of how I left from over there.
Protecting the cereal.
I left from over there, to protecting the cereal.
Captain Crunch.
Which I should have stayed. I left from over there to go over to this spot. But the only reason why I left from over there is because when I had my daughter, I was so afraid of getting put on child support. And I don't know why, because I didn't have no money. But I was so afraid of being put on child support that as soon as I had my daughter, I put her on my insurance at work. And that started pulling out the majority of my check. I was coming home every week with like $200, $300. I was behind on my car note, and the job was like, look, we'll pay your insurance. We just need you to stay because you're the only one that know the operations. And I just didn't trust them. So I left, and I just left. I just said, stop answering the phone. And that is one of the regrets that I have, is that I shouldn't have left the way that I did. And I went into that other job thinking that the grass was greener, and it wasn't. I only lasted there a month. But that went straight into me being a comedian full time, and I never went back.
What was that conversation when you got home, though?
To my mom?
Yeah, when, like you said, after the crying's done, you know where you are.
Yeah.
What do you walk in the house and say?
Mom, I got fired. What? Yeah, I got fired. Why? Mom, they talking about I can't do comedy no more. And she was like, they said that you can sue them. I said, well, let's sue them then. She said, did they say exactly that? I said, they ain't say exactly that. But they said I need to choose. And she was like, and you said comedy? I said, no. I said, what I said was, the security job wasn't gonna give me the opportunities that I wanted. And she calmed down and she was like, you know what? She was like, your comedy's been doing good. She said, just focus on that. She said, collect your unemployment. And she was like, I got you. And I did just that. And I was getting the unemployment, but I was making money doing comedy, so the unemployment was just a little extra something. When that ran out, I was still doing well. And then it had got to a point, though, where it slowed down for me. The views had started to go down. The bookings weren't coming in as much anymore. And I remember my sister was a human resource manager for this temp agency. And I called her like, I might need a job. And she was like, what you mean? I was like, it's just slowed down. I never thought it was over, but I was like, I need to regroup. I need to pivot.
You asked us if we ever been fired. I'm curious now. Have y'all ever had a civilian job?
Yes.
I've
Fred,
never
I had a civilian job.
Where at?
I worked at LSU. During the time I was in the league.
That don't count.
Yeah, that
I
don't
worked
really
for the
count.
Tiger Athletic Foundation.
You gotta ask
I
a
was,
real question.
Yeah, like a real
What was
job.
it like when
raising
what was it
money.
like when you got cut? That's getting fired.
Well, yeah, that's getting fired, but I mean like a job.
I
like
had a
you
real
know,
job.
That's a job.
That is a job.
I was a cashier, and I got fired because if any old woman came through, I used to put her produce because you got to look the code up.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to look the code up. It's a waste of time. Bananas are 40.11 to this day. So I used to know some codes. If I didn't know the code, if you got an avocado or a jackfruit, I don't want to look the code up, and I just give it to them free. And an old lady told on me, and she was like,
got it for free.
I got a bunch of fruit, and he only charged me $11. And she had a whole basket full of fruit, but I wasn't gonna look up all them codes.
She was black.
She wasn't black.
I know it. I knew she wasn't black.
And
I knew she was.
they fired me at the Cub Foods in Atlanta.
Cubs food.
Cub food.
They don't know about Cubs food.
No,
never
nobody.
heard of
Cub
that.
food
You
came
never
in-
heard of Cub food?
No.
Nah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they probably, bro, they ain't
My
around.
sisters used to work at Cubs. I had 3 sisters. All of them worked at Cubs food.
I was at Cub Foods. Your sister, how was your sister?
She was
fired
in
me?
Chicago.
Oh, okay.
Look
I
at
said,
her.
lady
That's that
that
light skin stuff right there.
But the
They
lady
think they
that
know
fired
all the
me-
women in the world.
The lady that fired me
What
was
y'all
light
got
skinned.
going on, man?
Nothing.
Y'all too light skinned. 2 seconds ago, y'all was like this.
Yeah.
Both of y'all. And now y'all like this.
Fred, we
gotta
just
switch it up.
running the world.
Yeah,
gotta
man,
switch it
RC,
up, man.
we wide leg, y'all.
You see what I'm saying? But that's the problem with y'all. Y'all wide leg because y'all always feel like somebody about to do something to you.
So you see how we
I'm
do?
actually
See
just
how we
sitting like this.
look
like it's not even-
look how relaxed we are. What's wrong with y'all?
We comfortable. Y'all not comfortable.
You know, where you are now, when you grow big enough to do something like The Bear and the Bears,
Yeah.
how did that all come about? And that had to be a moment where you realized, okay, all this work I've put in, not only are the people I initially intended to see it, seeing it,
Seeing it, yeah.
but now it's growing bigger.
It's going bigger. You know, for that, what happened was, it's crazy. Justin Fields was the quarterback at the time, and we were playing Green Bay, and we lost, and I had did this video of me watching the end of the game, and my girl come in, and I'm crying, and in this video, I mean, ESPN, everybody, it was all over the place. And everybody had responded to it, except the Bears, because they lost. They didn't know how to interact with it. So they DM'd me, and they was like, we see you. And I was like, hey, I have some ideas. I would love, to sit down with you guys and talk about some ideas that I have to kind of, bridge the gap between the fans and the team, because at the time we were losing so much. You know what I'm saying? The only joy that we really were getting is the hope that something might be different. I sat down, we had a meeting with the social media department. I met with the president, Kevin Warren, and they brought me to a game. And we ended up going to the game, and I'm end up meeting, I met Justin Fields, and every player I met on that team that day is no longer on the team. They all signed my jersey. This is when I realized the business of the NFL.
Yeah.
I have a jersey right now with Roquan Smith, Eddie Jackson, Justin Fields, Darnell Mooney. The only one still on this jersey is Jalen Johnson. That's still with Chicago. Mm-hmm. But I met the players and they were, oh man, I remember asking Justin, I said, did you see the video? He was like, we all seen the video. And it was a dream come true. Like, I'm on the field at Soldier Field, I'm walking out the tunnel with the team, and that started my relationship with the Chicago Bears. That video, when I'm crying when they lost to Green Bay, and right after that, the next year, hey, we want you in the schedule release video. And I ended up doing the next 2 schedule release videos that they put out, and I instantly became like the face of the fan base for the Chicago Bears.
Who's better, you or Gilly?
Gilly is obnoxious, man. Gilly is on a whole nother level, man. Those Eagles fans are different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I've been to a Bears-Eagles game in Philadelphia. I'd rather see the Eagles when they come here to Chicago, man. But I would say Gilly got me beat for sure. Like, Gilly, I feel like Gilly will fight one of the players that mess up. If somebody fumble and lose the game, they got to hear. Like, Gilly calls players out. I don't do that.
Yeah.
I won't call a player out. Mm-hmm. And just because when you're around the team and, you show up to the games, you got to see these guys. Mm-hmm. And they hear this stuff and they see this stuff. And I don't never want them to feel like they don't have my support. They know they messed up.
Right.
You know you fumbled.
Yeah.
You know you dropped the ball. You don't need a comedian, you know what I'm saying, to spark the interest of the internet, you know. I think I did it one time. It was a guy, when he was playing with us, he was a practice squad guy. I don't even think he's in the league anymore. But he's a practice squad guy. He fumbled when we were driving to try to beat Minnesota. Justin Fields was the quarterback at the time. And the guy, he caught the ball, he did all this extra stuff, fumbled the ball. And I said, leave his ass in Minnesota. Leave him there. I called him back, but after that, I try not to criticize the players, man. Just, you know, I couldn't do what they do.
Yeah.
Just like they couldn't do what I do, I'm gonna respect that.
Right. Speaking of what you do, one of the cool things you did was, and I don't know how, when you're looking at the crowd, how do you actually figure out a way to know what people are there doing?
It's a gift. I see it. It's just, you know, as I'm doing the jokes, you know, I'm looking through the audience, I'm looking at, you know, the different people, and my mind is like, yeah, right there. It could be something small. It could just be the shirt that you have on. That shirt is interesting enough. Why would he wear that shirt? He's an interesting person. Let me get to know him. Or if I see a dynamic, if I see a man and a lady and they sitting together, but you know, she's leaning this way, or she's not really touching, like, all these things are happening in real time, and I'm noticing all of it, you know, while I'm on stage, and that's kind of like how I know, like, where I'm gonna go.
That's how you knew the two dudes was on a date?
So with that, bro, me and my mom was just talking about this. They were like, how did you know that? You know, that part of the show happened at the very end. I had been watching them all night. I seen them all night. One of the guys had on like a see-through shirt or something like that. The shirt was very LBWQ.
What's some letters?
You know what I'm talking about. I knew they was with that community.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? I could tell by the shirt. And I was watching the other guy, and I noticed the other guy was kind of, he wasn't ready for the world to know, you know what I'm saying? He was like, hey, we just kicking it. But the other dude was like, nah, we in here, we together.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I seen it all night. So when I came over there, I knew what guy to go and talk to, because I go talk to the one that appears to be more free and willing to talk about this. He's gonna open it up for him. So it's just a strategic thing. And it's knowing people. You just gotta know people.
That was so funny. That was cool.
Yeah.
What with that? Because at the end of all your sets, you just start fucking with people.
Yeah.
And that's the thing you do. Like you watch
Yeah.
it. We saw it Instagram. Like you go
Yeah.
watch your Instagram, man. It's just hilarious. But do you ever, like you're saying, how you tag somebody? Do you ever watch and be like, nah, that ain't? Cause you mess with one dude, you like, bro, you 6'3". You got a policeman on him or something like that. But do you ever be like, no, let me leave, bro. Yeah, let me leave bro alone.
You
Let
know
me
what?
leave bro
Sometimes
alone.
they'll give you that energy. Like I've done shows where you get a guy in the audience and like you throw like a little jab at him, and they'll give you a look like, nah,
I ain't the one.
I ain't the one. I respect it.
Really?
I respect it. No, I respect it. Now if I end up, I might double back. Because what I'll end up doing is trying to get you on my side.
Yeah.
Then once I get you on my side, then I get on you. But if you give me that vibe, like it's been some older OGs in the shows before. And I done said something, and them unks then looked at me like, all right, man, you going with your jokes. I done seen it. And I be like, you know what? Because I know my dad.
Yeah.
My dad don't let nobody play with him. So I'm like, yeah, all right, I got you, OG. Don't even worry about it. Anyways, what y'all doing after this? Like, I'll move right on. So it's just, you know, it's just knowing people. And if somebody give you that vibe, like, and it ain't even so much that you scared, because, bro, I've been on stage and the dude that stood up, like, I'll come up there. Like, well, come on.
Right.
You ain't going back.
Right.
Yeah.
You won't be going. I'll let the audience know. The show will be over once he gets up here. It's over with after that.
Yeah.
So I hope y'all enjoyed yourself.
You
But
walk
come
over
on
here,
up here.
you limping back.
Yeah, you limping back.
What is that? But what is that talent? Something people can write sets.
Yeah.
But that talent.
That's skill, bro. I don't care what nobody say. You know what I'm saying? Any comedian, and shouts out to Matt Rife and Nate Jackson and you know, all Desi Banks, all the comedians that have that ability to make something out of what's happening right now. That's a gift. That's a skill. I don't care what nobody say. People try to act like, oh, well, they must not don't have any jokes. I'm about to drop my comedy special. I just shot in Atlanta. Fire. I done watched it 6 times already. Fire. Like, and I'm watching it on my TV, you know, from the perspective of the people watching, not from I wrote this. Because the first couple times I wasn't laughing. But because I was studying, like, well, okay, did I want to change this? But once I watched it to enjoy it, fabulous. It's gonna be one of the best specials. The director himself, this is gonna be one of the best specials 2026.
So with that in comedy, do you feel pressure or privilege oftentimes being mentioned alongside some of the other Chicago greats like Bernie Mac or Richard Pryor? You know, those guys that were right there from Chicago.
When you went to the league, did you want to be mentioned with Walter Payton?
Of course.
Okay then.
But no,
That's
I mean,
exactly,
was it pressure or privilege?
No, I wanted that.
Got it.
You know what I'm saying? And to go back to the moment that you brought up at the Chicago Theater, it's not a lot of comedians that's from Chicago that was able to do what I did. I sold that theater out a month in advance for 4,000 seats. You know what I'm saying? And the names that's done it, Deion Cole, you know what I'm saying? Corey Holcomb, D. Ray Davis does the Eric Crown Theater. You know, Bernie Mac did it with the Kings of Comedy. I went in there just me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just me. And, you know, I wanted that. You know, I think even before I walked out, you know, a video played of, you know, just kind of like me going out on a tour, you know, and leading up to the Chicago show, and then it had a message that said, Mojo today, you know, makes history along with other Chicago greats, and, you know, the pictures of Bernie Mac and Robin Harris, and all those pictures pop up, and you just hear the crowd going crazy, and then at the end, it says, and tonight, you know, he becomes the first comedian from Chicago that come from the social media generation to sell out the Chicago Theater.
Man, that's amazing. When you mentioned those names, it made me start to think about the history of Chicago. So I want you to give me the top 5 people, athletes, entertainers, actors that are synonymous with Chicago love, support, and fame.
Michael Jordan, Derrick Rose, you know, Bernie Mac is a Chicago legend. Chance the Rapper. And I'm just gonna say this for my boy, man, Caleb Williams.
Right.
It's happening for him right now.
Yeah.
The city of Chicago is gonna be his.
Yeah,
It's happening. I'm just saying it now. Even, I'm gonna be honest, and I hate to say this, even just what he's done to Green Bay 2 times this year, that dude ain't gotta do nothing else. We thank you, he's set. Caleb don't gotta, man, listen, he don't gotta pay for another nail. He don't gotta pay, not for no ticket to see Mojo Brookzz, he don't. No, but no, Chicago, I mean, we just got a lot, man, and I see it for myself. You know what I'm saying? The city of Chicago treats me like royalty.
Yeah.
Wherever I want to go, whatever I want to do, they lay out the red carpet. So it's been a lot. But athletes-wise, for sure, Jordan, Derrick Rose, they getting ready to retire his jersey. They haven't retired a Bulls jersey since 2009, and that was Scottie Pippen. Derrick Rose going up in the Raptors.
But D Rose to go to high school there though,
It's crazy.
and then come back and win the MVP.
Yeah. And that's what it was like for me at the Chicago Theater. It was like when he got drafted to the Bulls, and he had been there his whole life, and you in the city, you've been here the whole life. You know, you pull up to that Chicago Theater. Y'all seen the Chicago Theater? They got the Chicago going.
Nice.
You pull up there and you see your name on the marquee and it say sold out, and all those people lined up as you pulling in to see it is.
Can y'all please sell something else other than that ragged ass mirror bean?
Who?
Chicago want to sell that mirror bean to everybody. That bean ain't worth a damn.
Man, we don't sell that to y'all.
Everybody talk about the bean. I went to the bean. I'm just staying at the bean. The bean is just a big ass mirror
y'all
bean.
chose to be hyped up by the bean. Let me tell you something. I ain't never been down to the bean.
You ain't never been to the bean.
No, I don't have a picture in front of the bean. I've never been down to the bean.
See?
I've driven past it down Michigan Avenue. I've never, No, we didn't tell y'all. Nobody from Chicago told you, you gotta go to the Bean.
Never.
I went
Never.
to my whole family to the Bean, then we
See?
were just standing there.
Yeah, just standing looking crazy. Like, this is it.
Looking at your reflection.
Yeah, when you said it, you was like, to the what? I didn't even know what you was talking about at first. No, we don't, man.
Man, yeah, no, I really just think it's an honor, man. You did some research. Your name came up with Obama, both Obamas, Oprah. You said Mike, Scotty, D. Rose, Peyton, Chief Keef, Chance, Kanye.
Chance,
Your
Lil
name
Durk,
pops
I
up
mean,
with
everybody.
all them, man. So
Yeah.
keep doing what you're doing. But we always ask our guests their biggest pivot in life. Like that's that one moment you can go back to and say, because this happened to me or for me, that's the reason why I am who I am today.
The biggest pivot in my career was when I told y'all the views had started slowing down. I was doing that Mr. James character. And I had to pivot from the character work into showing people more of me being funny. So I had to lose that filter. It was all a crutch, right? And I knew that if I had kept going down that route, it was over. Yeah. It was just over with. I wasn't growing anymore. It was at a standstill. And what I ended up pivoting to, I was at a concert and Lil Durk proposed to his girlfriend at the concert. And I started doing these Ring camera videos where I would go to my girl's house and go to the Ring camera and be trying to get her back. And that brought me in, it gave me a second life.
Yeah.
In this career, it gave me a second life. And from there, I was able to grow as me. People was able to see me for me. And then I was able to continue to expand my comedy to other things. That's what changed my career. Yeah. That decision right there changed my career. In my life after I got fired, I had went and interviewed for another job the very next day. Even though my mom had told me to get the unemployment and stuff, they offered me the job. It was for the same amount of money. And the day that I was supposed to go start, I didn't go.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
I said, I'm gonna do what my mom told me to do.
Yeah, I would also say one thing I do love to see about you is you and your daughter. In which, when you have parents like you have, how did that shape you into how you want to be in her life?
I think the biggest thing is with me and my daughter is how affectionate we are. My family has always been affectionate. We've always hugged, we've always kissed, we've always showed each other our love. And I always wanted my daughter to understand that she comes from love. She does not have to search for it out here in this world. It comes from that. We have conversations. Just yesterday, we was having a conversation. I got an air hockey table at the house, and I'm like, how you feeling? I was like, you feel beautiful? Yes, I feel beautiful. Do you love yourself? Yes, I love myself, Dad. Like, those are the type of conversations we have. That's the type of dad. I don't want her to be out here thinking that she can find something out there that she doesn't already have at home. And my family's always been that way. It's like, we got us. You don't gotta go out there to have it, like, we got us. And when you do go out there, find people that's familiar with what you grew up on. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of times when you come from love like that, you end up attracting a lot of people that's just trying to survive. Yeah. And they don't know how to love the way that you do. They don't know how to show the love or the appreciation, the way that you do. And I just wanted my daughter to come from what I came from, I always grew up knowing somebody loved me. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I always knew that, and I just want her to know that. Like, you don't never, if you got a question anything, you don't never got a question if you are loved here. Yeah.
Well, I just want to give you your flowers before you leave. This is normally Freddie T's thing.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I sent you the message from one of my childhood friends who lost her daughter, a few years back, and she doesn't have a lot of things that bring her that sort of joy. Yeah. And when I posted you on my story, she actually, I sent it to you, but she reached out to say how much she laughed and how good that was for her. So thank you for that, for sure. And my homeboy Kevin, y'all met him in Houston, shot me a text. He's like, I'm going to a show tonight. First thing he asked me, does he have VIP tickets? Second thing was, he told me, just tell him to stay. I got him. And my homeboy sent that too. There's not a lot of people who say they're gonna do a thing and do it, and who show up like you showing up for me, and you didn't owe me nothing. So I do wanna tell you, man, thank you for being you. You're a real one. I'll FaceTime you if y'all lose this week just to check on you though.
But no, you say you not answering if we win.
I'm gonna cut my phone off.
I'm calling you right from the stadium, baby. Right from the stadium. And let me say this though to all you brothers, man. I appreciate what y'all have here. The meaning of y'all podcast. I appreciate the guests that y'all bring on and what y'all do for the culture. Shining light on, entertainers and athletes, that's coming up in this business. I watched all you guys just, growing up. And you one of my favorite running backs. You was all right. You was a dog.
I appreciate
You know what I'm saying? Ryan, no, honestly, man, listen, I'm gonna say this though, Ryan, over the last few years, your name then came up and, and I done seen him on Twitter and I always respected how you always took accountability and you never backed down from, if you're wrong, hey, I was wrong. Mm-hmm. I respected that, and the reason why I say that is because that's what I respected about my dad when he set me down and said, hey, I wasn't with you from the beginning and I was wrong. Mm-hmm. That's a man, you know what I'm saying? To be able to take accountability and say, hey, I was wrong. Maybe I shouldn't have said that, or maybe I shouldn't have did that. I apologize, and I respect that. And because of that, from afar seeing that, I always said, that's somebody that I can mess with.
Appreciate you, bro.
So I appreciate y'all for having me. I had a good time, man.
Man, thank you, dog.
I appreciate y'all.
I'm sorry I'll be talking to you this weekend.
Yeah. You will. You will.
So you giving out VIP tickets, I heard.
Yeah, whatever y'all need. Whatever y'all need.
We definitely gonna catch you.
Now look,
For sure.
I'm gonna tell y'all,
Good
we'll
people,
see y'all. We'll see y'all. I know y'all probably be down to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be there.
Who you going with?
Huh? Who I'm going for?
Say, who you gonna go with? You just going to watch?
You just going on, you hang
You know what? So the Super Bowl is the day before me and my dad's birthday. Our birthday on the same day.
Okay.
So I'm taking him to the Super Bowl.
No matter who goes.
Huh?
No matter who goes.
No matter who goes. Yeah, from the AFC.
Hold up, limitless. Take a stomach, got a pin in it. I fought the head to witness it. Got my people feeling militant. Way I'm feeling got me up. On the mission got me up. Knowing me, I got the key. On this vision I can trust. Limitless. Take a stomach, got a pin in it. I fought the head to witness it. Got my people feeling militant. Way I'm feeling got me up.